Welcome back. It is a wonderful season to be talking about health and wellness because we certainly partake of quite a few parties during the holiday season. Some might say that that's what the holiday is all about, but I believe that our group assembled this evening would say, no, it's more about reflection and gratitude and making thoughts for the coming year. And I'm excited to welcome to the stage this evening a group of friends who are doing wonderful work on behalf of all of us, helping us to move forward into 2018 in a manner of greater health and greater enjoyment of life always. They have a new website that is called BMI22.com. I will not get into the description because I have the experts right here. I am so pleased to be welcomed by Dr. Girish Kalva, Santosh, and Pritee Maknikar. Hi, you guys. Hello. Good to see you.
Yeah.
So I have to tell our audience that we had a lunch on Saturday and hung out and laughed and just had the best time. So it feels like we're having a little bit of a reunion. Yes, after a very long time of nearly 48 hours.
Yeah. Great.
Welcome, you guys. Doctor, I suppose with you would be a good place to start. BMI may not be a terminology that people are used to, even though diet advice and that sort of thing is prevalent in our culture, but BMI is a little bit more detailed and perhaps scientific way to go about finding health.
You're exactly correct. So BMI is body mass index. That's the expansion for it. It's more of a medical term, but with the amount of people who are having issues with body mass index in the country, it has become more layman language now. It is one of the criteria to see if people are overweight or not. So it is a simple way to measure your health, and we all have issues with weight, which is becoming more and more rampant all over the world, especially more so in the country. So I felt that with our team, we could find a way to get working by using terms that are simple, such as body mass index, to make people understand that this is an important scale on which people can try to measure their health.
And talk about the calculation, if you would.
So I'm an obesity physician. I'm boarded in that. So BMI means body mass index, and the scales are basically, if you're below 25, you're considered normal weight if you're Caucasian. And if you're between 25 to 29.9, it's considered overweight. And from 30 to 34.9, it's class 1 obesity, and the classes go on and forth. So if you use these parameters, you measure your height and weight and put it in a calculator. There's so many apps, and you just measure your BMI, and you will know where you stand. So that's a simple explanation of it.
And the key is that you have to take a look at your weight relative to your height as an indicator of kind of your overall size.
Exactly correct.
And some people may see some variances from that because you can be 6 feet tall and of a very slender build, or you can be 6 feet tall and of a very strong build based on ethnicity, on a number of factors.
You highlighted the correct point I was going to say. So there are some limitations that body mass index carries, which is race. If you're Chinese or Indian, your BMI should be a different number. And in the same way, if you're muscular and strong, it doesn't account exactly to the numbers that it calculates. So it's more of an approximation, but it still is reasonable as a simple parameter for people to use to say where they stand and see if they can better it by getting them within the normal range, which is an indirect indication of better health.
Which is what we say that we're all after, but in some ways we find psychological challenges with that, cultural challenges, and even just when I say cultural, I think that I refer more than anything to television advertising for foods and those kinds of things. And of course, here in the States, not like we're completely unlike everybody else in the world, but food is entertainment in a lot of ways, and that has a direct bearing on.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you. We are surrounded by food. We are surrounded by so many kinds of food which overwhelm us and which give us satiety, happiness, and when we are all stressed at work or home with family, it just turns out that we turn to food for comfort. So the advertising adds up to it, and that's where the waistlines are growing, and that's where the body mass index goes up.
Indeed. Santosh, Pritee, hello, welcome.
Hello.
Thank you.
Talk about your involvement with Girish and with this project.
Oh, Terry. So I'm still doing my yoga. I do my teacher training programs. I'm still doing the Downtown Yoga Festival. But we realized in last few years, few of our acquaintances and people we know, they had a lot of health problems, even though they are yoga teachers, even though they are practicing yoga, even though they are eating healthy, right? So there are multiple things. It's just not that you're exercising, that means you're healthy or you are going to live longer. So we came across, I used to teach yoga at the Indian Community Center, and that's where I met Girish, and we hit right there that because we have the same interest, and we started talking about it. Preeti is going to show how to cook, but I think from my point of view and from my experience, I feel like I need to learn from other people's mistakes than my own mistakes. And I think pretty much everyone should do that. When it comes to health and money, it's important that you learn from other people's mistakes. So these are the 5 formulas I have came up with. And I think everyone can follow it, and everyone should follow it. So if you're exercising, doing yoga, perfect. You have to do it. Everyone should do it. But that's not enough. There are many people who did exercise, and we talked about it, and who do yoga, they do die because of some diseases, because they don't take care of themselves. So second thing is, yes, you have to eat healthy food. If you don't eat the right kind of food, you're going to get a lot of diseases. If your BMI is more than 22, especially in Western countries, or especially your heritage is from the Western countries, then you're going to be open to like 40 diseases. You are inviting 40 diseases, including coronary artery disease, type 2 diabetes.
The most serious.
Exactly, and hypertension, and apnea, and sleep problems, and so many things, right? So the second thing is you have to eat right. First thing is doing yoga. Third thing, if you do all of this, but you are not sleeping enough, then you're gonna get some issues. Right? So you have to sleep for 8 hours at least, right? So those are the 3 important things which are very, very important. And then to supplement that, there are 2 more things. One is you have to stay away from toxins, which is we are now introduced to the processed food, we are introduced to the plastic, we are introduced to all the cleanings, and people, they won't realize until they hit that this is called as cancer, right? And they say, oh, I was doing everything right, I was eating right, how did I get it? But it's better to educate ourselves, prevent anything, than getting there and then trying to fix it.
And
right?
then trying to fix it.
So staying away from toxins is also a very important part of it. Now the last and most important part, you do all of these 4 things, doing the exercise, you're eating healthy, you're sleeping well, you're away from toxin, but if you have stress and anxiety, there's no use of any of this. So you have to do all these 5 together every time, and that's what this all program is. There are tons of programs which give you like $700, $1,000 expensive tablets and pills. There are programs which is like, go work out, crazy workout, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. There are some programs which is like, oh, you go on XYZ diet, and those are not the right way to lose the weight. We won't call it as a lose the weight, but basically we'll say to stay healthy. The right way to stay healthy is follow these 5 things and maintain a really, really healthy lifestyle. So that's what this program is all about. We all 3 think, by the way, we 3 think that this is just not a business or anything. It's just we want to educate more people about living healthy. And to get there, I think we come up with this program, 14 weeks, 15 weeks. It varies from person to person. Anyone can come, and we can help them to change their lifestyle.